Hello, students. Mr. Chen here on the very next page with your vocabulary for Chapter 20. There is a lot of it. So let's get started, shall we? Consolidation means the practice of combining different companies into one. If you consolidate your stuff, you bring it all into one place. A railroad baron is a powerful business leader who controlled a major railroad. Standard gauge. That's 4 foot 8.5 inches. This is the distance between rails agreed upon by all the railroad companies. Here it is, standard gauge. See, it's the space between the rails, and standard is 4 8.5. And there's still meter gauge, maybe called narrow gauge, and then broad gauge, but standard gauge became the standard. A rebate is a discount or return of a part of a payment. A pool, a group sharing in some activity. For example, a secret agreement among railroad barons to set prices. So, like, not a swimming pool. Model T was like the first automobile. Not the totally first one, but the first very prominent one. Model T, people think of the first car. They think, the Model T. There it is. Assembly line, factory method in which work moves past stationary workers to perform a single task, as pictured here. Mass production, factory production of goods in large quantities. The factors of production are land, labor, and capital. They are used to make goods and services. In a capitalistic economy, private citizens own most of the land, labor, and capital, whereas in a command economy, aka communism, the government owns the land, labor, and capital. Entrepreneur, the person who starts a business, like this young lady. Corporation, legally defined organization of people and resources with the purpose of doing business. Stock, shares of ownership a company sells in its business. A shareholder is a person who invests in a company by buying stock. A dividend is a stockholder's share of a company's profits, usually as a cash payment. Trust, a combination of firms or corporations formed by legal agreement, especially to reduce competition. A monopoly is a monopoly man. Monopoly is a total control of a type of industry by one person or company. So if Mr. Yund owned every jelly bean factory in the world, I would have a jelly bean monopoly. Merger, the combining of two or more businesses into one. They merge together. A sweatshop is a shop or factory where workers work long hours at low wages under unhealthy conditions. Labor union, an organization of workers who seek better pay or working conditions. Collective bargaining is a discussion between an employer and a union representative. A collective bargaining is like a union will have one person bargain with management, and that one person represents all the union members. That's collective bargaining. A strikebreaker is a person hired to replace a striking worker in order to break a strike. Also, at least around these parts, they're known as the scab. So if you guys all work in my factory and you go on strike and then I hire other people that work instead of you, you're mad at them, you call them a scab. They are a strikebreaker. They are working despite the strike. Injunction, a court order to stop something from happening. That's it. Let's take a look at the assignment for the day. It's our choice written assignment, but the word count is higher because we have a lot of vocab. So it's either 15 separate sentences or a story using 10 of the vocab words. Be sure to bold or highlight or italicize or some way, differentiate that vocab word from the other words in the story or the sentence. And that's it for today. We'll get started on lesson 1 soon. Have a good one.